The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night and the show pony himself, David Rodgers, not alongside the Byron Bagwell as he's working late. He may join us a little bit later, along with the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland, and Mr. Austin Stevens. Great to have you along tonight. Tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner Racing, and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursdays to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports, Mitchell Gunner. And by On the Spot Lawn Care, spring is coming. Now's the time to plan for who takes care of your lawn. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. Call 904-966-1633. Again, welcome in. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. If you'll please bow your heads. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for the time that we are allowed with our brotherhood, the On the Spot crew with David Rodgers, each and every one of us that are here and that can't be here, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. As Byron is working, please keep a hedge of protection over him. Also, Mitchell Gunner, who has got his own show, but he comes and co-hosts with us each and every time, dear Lord, when he can, and that he's fighting a little bit of a flu, and that you touch him and make him well. Thank you again for this wonderful day, this wonderful week that you're going to give us, this show, as we disseminate and give out the information from what we're going to talk about that tonight, dear Lord, and that let our audience determine if that's useful for them, dear Lord, and let them take that information and do as they wish with it. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the most freest, powerful country in the world today, dear Lord. Yes, we have our own issues, dear Lord, but if we turn to you for guidance, dear Lord, that you can put your healing hand on this great nation and bring us back to the prominence of what this nation once was and still is and can be. We can be that great nation again, dear Lord. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those men and women, dear Lord, that are serving now and are served in the past, dear Lord, the ones that has given the ultimate sacrifice, their lives for this great country, the great red, white, and blue, dear Lord. Thank you for each and every one of those young men and women and older men and women, dear Lord, as they're out there fighting against domestic and international terrorism and any other threats that come to our great country. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of those men and women, dear Lord, that they're out there each and every day and each and every night to keep us safe while we're in our homes, dear Lord, while we're sleeping or working and from home or doing things from home, and even at work, dear Lord, that we know if there's a situation that arises, that they'll be there to help us out, dear Lord. Thank you for our great nation again, dear Lord. Thank you for all the front people that make this world go round, dear Lord. That's those truck drivers, anybody that works on the railroad, anybody that helps this great nation thrive, dear Lord, that goes to work each and every day, that we just keep continuing to grow, dear Lord, and grow this economy and create more jobs. And with your help, we can do that, dear Lord. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day as goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, you know each and every one of them, dear Lord. You're the ultimate healer, the ultimate comforter. You can touch each and every one of these lives, dear Lord, and make everything good for those people that have these requests. Again, thank you for a great night. Thank you for a great week that we're going to have upcoming. Thank you for letting us have this time with our brotherhood. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation, David says,
Amen.
Amen. All right, let us stand for our pledge tonight for this great country. And I'm going to ask Mr. Austin Stevens, our weather guru and our YouTube guru, to please lead us in our pledge.
It be my honor. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Austin. That was a great job that you did. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, please stand by with us. We may have just a couple of little technical difficulties, but I think David has reworked those, and we should be in good shape.
It's a little bit chaos back here. We ain't going to lie.
I hear you. Austin painted the bad picture. I was hoping Austin didn't say anything. Austin, apologize.
Hey. It's not my fault, but hey, I guess I'll take the blame because my show's also chaos when I do my own podcast.
There you go. Well, apologize to them, Austin.
We'll make it up next week. We'll make sure we're
apologize, Austin. That wasn't an apology.
We're sorry.
Say I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
Thank you. Wow, that's like pulling teeth.
Teeth, man. My goodness gracious, man. Hey, David, do we have anybody else on the weather list that we can get here? Let me see. I'm messing with him. Austin does a really good job for us. And
yeah, I think Rodgers out there on the list.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. Austin, you definitely didn't hit that.
I heard you were causing an ice storm in the
where?
W area.
Oh, well, yeah, that's still to come yet, brother. But anyway, all right, here we go with our quote, David. This is a quote from Mr. Byron Bagwell, and it is not a founding father. I will tell you that, okay? Not a founding father. It is a, what am I trying to say? He was a great philosopher back in the day, way back. So here it is. He who does not desire power is fit to hold it. He who does not desire power is fit to hold it. Who said that, Austin? Brother, anybody?
Socrates.
Oh, boy, you are so close, David. My gosh. Do you know? Do you know his others that were in that same area? Do you know the other two? Gosh, you're so close, David.
I guess I'm too short to understand it. That's an incentive.
No, you're not. You just maybe never studied this, or maybe just. All right, if I give you the first letter, could you guess it?
I don't know.
Mitchell Gunner says we're frozen.
Yeah.
I'm checking.
So, ladies and gentlemen, stand by with us. We're trying to get the technical difficulties situated.
We're blinking. In and out of our red signal.
Hey, you're moving at 1 FPS.
Okay, tell me what that means.
Means 1 frame per second.
Okay, all right. And hopefully it'll catch up. David, what do you think?
I got 5 on the upload.
Yeah, this is going to be touchy here and there, isn't it? But we'll continue on. But anyway, that is Plato that said that.
Oh,
I knew, man, when you said Socrates, I was like, come on, man. I'm like, man, here we are. You got it. Let's see if anybody else guessed it right here. As we got several live viewers, and we're going to say hello to everybody. But that was Plato that said that. Before we go on, David, I want to welcome in some guests. Roy Jackson, what's up with you? Hope you are doing well and your family's doing well. Mitchell Gunner says, good afternoon. We'll talk about Mitchell's show here in just a little bit, and also him getting better as he was fighting a little bit sickness. Shirley Bagwell, hello, Miss Sunshine. How you doing? Hope everything's going well with you and Donnie, and we're going to see you Thursday night for sure. Melissa Cribbs is joining us. Melissa and Roy, I do have your gift certificates for What's the Date. I've got them in my bag. I'm ready to give them to you, so we'll figure out how to meet up and how to give those to you. Byron Bagwell says, good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and miscreants.
Guess what? It's going to rain.
Oh, boy.
But only on Friday.
Yeah, only on Friday. Pepper Autistic's watching. Mitchell Gunner said Julius Caesar. That was a good guess.
That's a good guess.
That's a great guess. Liz Tillery Holland. You know her?
I know
I love
her.
Liz.
I love her too.
I definitely love her. Yeah, and I see some of meals that I bet you eat all those meals. We'll talk about that. But she says Nostradamus, which was a good
Don't
guess
start
too.
talking about food. You got me.
I know it. I'm hungry too, man.
I had really
Nostradamus.
good
She
chicken
said
wings
Nostradamus. That was a good guess.
Yeah.
Mitchell Gunner said Caesar, which was a good guess. And Liz said y'all are coming through just fine now. So that is so awesome. Hey, don't go anywhere because here comes the roundtable right after this.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, David, this is the Roundtable. We go around the region, around the world with the latest news and notes. Brought to you by Harry Business at the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call David Company at 904-964-3338. 904-964-3338. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5, closed on Sundays. But I assure you, if you've got Dave Holland's phone number and you need a haircut and he's not busy, I assure you that he will come cut your hair. Right, David?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Dave's all about making the customer happy.
Yes, sir.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. All right, here we go with some news. Mark Wilson Jr. has been sentenced to death for the killing of two boys in Putnam County back in 2020. A 12-year-old Robert Baker and his 14-year-old brother Tayton, you remember this story, David?
Yes.
Were brutally beaten and stabbed while they slept in their home near Shiloh Road, east of Melrose, in August of 2020. Wilson, who was dating the boys at the time of the slayings, confessed to those killings to the investigators. David, that is just pure evil. I don't care I don't care what problem he was having with his girlfriend and those boys' aunts. To do that, that is pure evil.
Yeah, it is.
Don't you agree?
I can't even grasp what is in their head.
I can't either. And you know what else, David? You have kids. I have kids. Austin is a kid. Austin lost his great father just a few months ago. And I just can't see any of us, to include all of us, picking up a knife or a gun and looking at your own flesh and blood, David, and killing your own flesh and blood. I just don't see it.
I don't see it.
I just can't. That's just evil, man. And I just can't say it no more than that. He's where he needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clay County Commissioners passed an ordinance banning pedestrians from asking for money on roadways. The ban includes the fire department from doing boot drives to raise money for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. The anti-panhandling ordinance mirrors Alachua counties that prohibits panhandling, but if only enforced for groups raising money, but panhandlers still beg for money on street corners. David, I've got a little issue with this. We talked about this. We had this news a little while back as well, and Michael put a reminder for us. You know, our firefighters, our first responders do a great job, guys, of doing what they do, first of all.
Yeah.
And then they get out there on 301 and 100, 301 and 16, all these busy intersections, and collect money for a great cause.
Yeah.
Now, this ordinance and this ban is not going to let them do that. And I know how much money you can collect there in a single day on that busy intersections. Wasn't as busy as it used to be because of the bypass.
Yeah.
But still, you can collect a nice chunk of change. And that's a shame that our firefighters and our first responders are going to have to go somewhere else or think of something else to do to be able to collect money for a great cause. But I do see it. You got panhandlers out there that do this, David, for a living every day. You see them go out there and they panhandle from 7 to 3, 7 to 4, and then they go right across the street from that store they're parked at, and they get in that brand new Escalade or a brand new Suburban or a brand new car and go home.
Go home, change their clothes, take a shower.
Yeah, and
Sit
they're
down, have something to eat with their wife and kids.
and doing it under a scrutiny and doing it under false pretense,
Yeah.
and won't mean you to give them money. So I could see the ordinance. I just wish they wouldn't have done it for great causes. Yeah, I wish they would have thought that a little bit further, David. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see your panhandlers and the people begging on the street and your homeless and that kind of thing there. And don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not being cold-hearted. We need to help these people if they help themselves. But for our firefighters, man,
Personally, they don't bother me.
yeah, I don't either.
Come to a light or something.
Yeah.
You know, they don't bother me, and every once in a while, I'll put change out for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it depends how you feel and what you, if you think it's pretty legit. But I know you're a very smart dude, and you know when you're getting scammed. But I tell you what, I would rather you tell me the truth. If you were a panhandler, David or Austin, and you said, hey, I need $2 because I'm going to go get me a beer, at least you told me the truth.
Yeah.
I may not like giving it to you, but I'll probably give it to you. I just don't like these guys that are scamming.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I need work. Well, what if somebody puts you to work? You're going to leave your spot there?
Right.
And then go to work?
Right. Yeah, so we can get into that conversation. Maybe we'll get into it here in a little bit. Let me just remind you that Call Street, State Road through 230 between US 301 and St. Clair will be closed for resurfacing from 6:30 p.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Monday as crews continue the repaving project. Plan for an alternate parking as on-street parking along Call Street will not be available. Parking is available, though, at the parking lot across from Stark City Hall, Santa Fe College, and First Baptist Church. You're seeing a little bit of that right now, David. As you go and do business downtown, you're seeing a lot of that. But I think they're doing a good job trying to keep area and spaces.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
It
nice
is.
And clean. They've got a lot of the surface already down, and now they're just going to pretty it up and paint the lines and be done.
Be done. Yep.
I
So
wonder what they did right there on Water Street, is it? Walnut Street with the brick.
with the brick,
road.
I don't think they're going to do anything with that. I mean, I think they're going to do some things,
Up
but
to it.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
because
like
I love that brick. I think that brings that old hometown feeling, and people that come in here and visit and start for the first time. I think that just gives off an old time vibe. You know what I mean? So, are you feeling lucky? No winning ticket was sold for Monday night's Powerball drawing, making Wednesday's prize an estimated $653 million. That makes it the 8th highest jackpot in Powerball history. The numbers drawn on Monday were, here we go, Austin, 1, 4, 12, 36, 49, and the Powerball of 5. The next drawing will be tomorrow night, so please make sure you grab your ticket. Dave, I wish I would have seen this. Dave pulls it out of his pocket and says, oh man, here, I've got my tickets right here.
Yeah,
I'm just double checking, but he's putting them back in his pocket.
I'm way off.
Yeah, well, I was way off too, brother, to be honest with you. I don't even think I hit any numbers.
I'm always before or after.
I'll tell you a little story about that on a Fantasy 5 ticket I had one time, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But anyway, make sure you get your Powerball ticket for tomorrow night. You could be the winner of a big jackpot. Finally, it's time for the recall recap, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we talk about products that are being recalled from the shelf, or the manufacturer has found some kind of deficiency or anything like that, and they want you to pull the product and give it back to them or whatever it may be. But I'm going to read you a couple of them. And that's featuring, go back, David, real quick. I didn't get a chance to read all that, brother. That's okay. Finally, it's time for the recall recap, featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have sunscreen, gas stoves, and scented candles. How about that?
What an interesting
Sunscreen,
combo.
gas stoves, and scented candles. I'll tell you something about the sunscreen when we get to it, David. Go to the next screen. So, Edgewell Personal Care Company is recalling 3 batches of banana boat hair and scalp sunscreen spray, the SPF 30 part. A review found that some samples of the product contain trace levels of benzene. Benzene is classified as a human carcinogen that can result in cancers including leukemia. Consumers with questions regarding this recall may contact Edgewell Personal Care at 1-888-686-3988. Want to talk about this for just a second. They pull up the next one, the next screen there, though. I heard Austin's like, man, who's needing sunscreen? But there's some fair-skinned people out there. The weather has been a little chillier and we'll hear Austin's weather here in just a few minutes. But you can still burn. But at my work, we use sunscreen because of the welders. All that, the gases and the arc burns them guys, even though they're getting, sleeves on, but mainly their face. So we use Coppertone SPF 70. Well, my safety guy has come to me, and we found out that SPF 70 has 3 products. Benzene was one, and there's a couple. I'd see something. I would have to get it. But anyway, I can't order SPF 70 Coppertone, which the guys like, because it's in between 50 and 100, and it keeps them from getting burned. Now I'm going to have to go to SPF 50 in another type brand because it doesn't carry those 3 particular products in it. What those products do, David, it makes your skin itch, it brings you out in a rash, and it can give you a feverish type feel.
Yeah.
So.
Why are they using benzene?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know why that particular thing is in that product.
When they formulate this in the factory,
yes.
What is there, like a box of benzene there that they shouldn't even be in the room?
Right, and like I said, I don't know what in that product is, you know what I'm saying, they need that for. But if you look, research that, and I'm going to research mine too, and I'll tell you those other 2. Z-Line has issued a recall for certain gas ranges due to the oven of the gas ranges could emit dangerous levels of carbon monoxide while in use, posing a serious risk of injury or death for carbon and monoxide poisoning. For more information, consumers can call Z-Line toll-free 1-888-359-4482. That's 888-359-4482. Anybody that has a Z-Line oven or gas range, please take heed to this. Carbon and monoxide is nothing, brother, to die from. That is a death that you do not want. It basically chokes you.
Yeah, and you can get these testers that will detect carbon monoxide.
Absolutely.
For your home.
Yeah.
I would suggest that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Amazon has got one. And I want to say I've seen it the other day, David, and I think they're fairly inexpensive. I think they're like $19.99, $29.99, maybe even cheaper than that. And you can get you one of those to make sure. And we were just, talking about Z-Line. There could be other gas ranges that may be doing the same thing. Who knows? It could be in your home.
I don't do gas anyway.
Yeah, I used to a long time ago, and I don't either. And just for this kind of reason right here, man, like I said, that's a horrible death. If you die from carbon and monoxide poisoning.
Well, you're sitting kicked back in your lounge chair watching TV, your favorite show, and carbon monoxide is being released into that room. You're just going to fall asleep.
Yes, you are.
And then after that, your brain won't work no more, and your heart stops, and
then
the show's over.
Yeah, what you're saying basically is the result of death. Yeah. And I'd hate to hear that from anybody. So, what else we got, Dave? Going on to the next one right here. Lastly, Ross stores. Let me tell you something. I love Ross Dress for Less, and I'm assuming that's what he's talking about, Ross stores. Recalls Taylor and Finch 6-wick scented candles, which they sell a lot of products, due to fire and injury hazards. The product can combust while lit, causing the glass container to break, creating a fire inside the home, fire and injury from broken glass or burns. Consumers can call Ross Stores at 1-800-335-1115 to obtain a refund. That's any candle, but I understand the Taylor and Finch ones. You know, you go to a Ross Dress for Less or a Goodies or one of those stores, they don't just sell clothes, David. They sell all kinds of items. They sell pots and pans. They sell candles. And Ross, I'm assuming, is selling these candles. And, hey, if these things are doing what they say, we need to get these things off the shelf, don't we?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say yes. And that number is 1-800-335-1115 to obtain a refund. David, how about the next screen? These products plus other recalls can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we will feature recalls each and every week on this show that could pose a threat to you, because this show is about you. And I tell you, we are looking out for you. We are looking out for anybody that watches this show. That's why we discuss things in detail. Before we get to the weather, David, let me call out some names here. Roy Jackson, what's up, baby? Mitchell Gunner, Shirley Bagwell, Melissa Cribbs, Byron Bagwell, Liz Tillery Holland. Dwight Allen says, good evening, brother and fellow patriots, and good evening to you, fellow patriot. Be glad to serve by your side anytime, brother. Robert McGee, how about him? He's on. He said, good evening, brothers. All right, Pepper Autistic. Let me explain on this one, Pepper, and you probably didn't get it from Dalton. I will not be able to be at the Saturday LCCW show. I had another commitment come up. The Chamber of Commerce from Start, Miss Pam Whittle, had talked to me, and she needs a DJ for this chamber banquet that's coming up on Saturday. And buddy, as much as I wanted to be at this wrestling event, and we planned it, this is really, Pepper, and I hope you understand, this is a big event for us here. A lot of people that are in business here, a lot of people that's got clout here, they're all going to be there. Me and David's been to many of them. Miss Shirley Bagwell's going to be attending. We've all been, and I've actually DJ'd it a couple of times. Me and Shelley has. This is a very important event for the community, and it's something, David, that I weighed both options out, and not to put the wrestling on the back burner, but this is something that I felt like I needed to do, not only for her wrestling, because we could get our name out there, but for us as well, for the On the Spot crew, and just for our community, David. Yeah. You know, we need to show our face and do things that that involve the people, not only that watch this show, but hear about our show, and also care about our show when they call us and go, hey, David and David, can y'all come film this for us? We're doing a little extravaganza here and there. And what do we say, David? Absolutely we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if there's nothing planned up on our books, we're there. You know, so I'm sorry that I will not be able to be there. I did tell Dalton that I could be at the next show, and of course he understood. I haven't heard from Draven Grimes yet, though. I'm sure he's going to call me a chicken and all that stuff.
He's going to play with that.
Oh, he's going to play with this for the next show, for the next month. But yeah. I assure you that I will be in contact with Ricky and figuring out what we're going to do for that next show. But again, I apologize. I'm going to read off some information. I believe that Austin Stevens has pulled that from my Facebook, or he will be, right, Austin? That I can get, so I can talk about that wrestling. But some things that are coming up. Bradford County Agricultural Fair, David, is right around the corner, Tuesday, March 7th through Sunday, March the 12th, 2023. Ride, games, food, livestock, and, of course, our booths that are in those buildings. It's just a great time at the fair, isn't it, David? You walk around and you see people, man, that know you, and man, you sit there and talk for 20 or 30 minutes while the kids are riding rides. And
well, I hope it's warm.
Yeah, maybe we can get a future forecast from Austin on how I look in a month.
Not yet.
When's the fair?
So the fair is March the 7th through March the 12th.
All right, so to be continued on that one.
All right, I like that answer. He redeemed himself, David. He's not on the fired list. All right. So make sure you go out to the fair and support your local fair and fairground people out there. The 25th Annual Bradford County Strawberry Festival starts at 9 a.m. Saturday, March the 25th, David, and opens at 10 a.m. And then Sunday, well, that 9 a.m. on Saturday, and then back on Sunday, March 26th at 10 a.m. is when it'll open. There will be food, music, vendors, and of course the sweetest strawberries this side of heaven for sale, as Gordon Smith would say. So come out and have a great time. David, I do believe that we're going to be involved in that somehow, either on the spot with David Rodgers or somewhere in there. We are going to be involved with the Strawberry Festival. I'm going to get with Pam, see what she wants us to do. Maybe she wants us to record a little show, David. Maybe some DJing stuff. Maybe you can catch me in the act doing that. But we're going to be down there. We're going to have a good time. I don't care what Plant City says. David, Austin, anybody that's listening to this broadcast, we have the sweetest strawberries this side of heaven. I'll put them against anybody.
I can't wait to get me a bushel of.
Oh, a big ball. Oh, God. Hey, I know this is bad for my health, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know what I do with them? I just take them, wash them, clean them. Of course, you can make anything you want to with them. But the best thing, I like putting sugar on top of those things. I know sugar is not great for you, but I put sugar on top, man, and eat those things like they're going out of style.
It is what it is.
If they're super sweet, you don't need sugar.
No, you don't. And I can assure you that these are sweet.
But I'd like to share, if you got a sugar problem in your health, strawberries have a more natural, good sugar.
Yes.
So they're good to eat, along with blackberries.
Oh, man, yes. Blueberries. You're exactly right, David. You're exactly right. The Boy Scouts American Values Dinner will be held Thursday, March the 30th. Got a lot of things coming up, David, 2023, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm not sure who's the inductee this time. I know it's been Chuck Kramer and Terry Vaughn the last couple of years. So we'll see who it is this time. That's always a great event, David. They raise good money for the Boy Scouts and, of course, the Boy Scouts of America. So if you don't have anything to do, plan on doing that. If you have any questions regarding any of these events or would like to be a member of the NRRC, which is the North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce, please contact my good friend and your good friend, Miss Pam Whittle, at 904-964-5278, or email them on Facebook or on their page. The banquet, by the way, is February the 4th, this Saturday. And let me see, I may have something right here. Oh, yeah. Shirley says, the chamber banquet will be so much fun. I know you will do a great job, which we've done before. Me and Shelly, me and J.D. Norman is actually going to DJ this one. Shelly not feeling so hot. Want to give her, want to give her some rest. So, we will definitely be there DJing that event. That is this Saturday coming up, February the 4th. I think you can still get tickets. I know they're trying to finalize everything, David, because they're trying to get set up. Lisa Sims from It's Your Day Bridal and her family and her clan will be decorating and putting this together, probably right along with the downtown business partners and stuff, be decorating. So I think if you want to go, you better get a hold of Pam Whittle tomorrow. Again, it may be too late to get tickets. We'll find out here shortly. But it's fun. It's always a great time over there.
What exactly is the itinerary?
Okay, I do this year. Yep, I do. So it starts at 5. I think the doors open at 5. They're not going to have that silent auction as they normally do. Oh, okay. So what they've done is they've sold tickets in advance, and if you didn't hear this, for a car, for a side-by-side, and other prizes that you had to purchase in advance. And so all that money raised is going, of course, to the Educational Foundation, which is what this is all about and why Pam and them do this. And we're going to give away the Citizen of the Year, the Volunteer of the Year, the Business of the Year, and Small Business of the Year. I think one of them may not be in there, but we're gonna award those people who is, of course, getting those awards as well. And then after that, David, it's on like Flintstone. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is Dave Rodgers, J.D. Norman. This is dancing time. This is fun after that, baby. But they're going to have a dinner, like they normally do, the dinner and the social hour and things like that. And this year's theme is, it's not the Hunger Games. It's, what is that other show that comes on? Shirley, help me out on this one. Let's see here.
Divergent?
No, it's not the Divergent series. God, what is that show? Very popular with everybody.
Yellowstone?
No, before that.
Walking Dead?
No, not The Walking Dead. It's back in medieval times.
Dungeons and Dragons?
Sort of like that. Do you know the name of that show? Maybe Shirley can help me out here. I'm trying to remember. Pam's not on here. I wish she was so we could talk about it a little bit. That's the thing.
We can dress up?
In medieval, yes. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to be able, because I'm DJing. Probably for me, I guess I could.
Well, of course.
Well, maybe you could. Game of Thrones. Thank you, Shirley. Whoever said that. Who was that? Let's see. Was that Shirley? It was Shirley that said that. It's the Game of Thrones thing.
So there's not going to be any silverware.
Well, you may have to eat with your hands.
Legs.
Turkey legs. I know the theme is going to be decorated that way. Yeah. I know some of the food that they're preparing is going to be that way. Yeah. But if you have never been to a Chamber of Commerce dinner, and if it's too late now, I urge you, Dave can tell you, I urge you to go to one. You meet a lot of different people. Oh, yeah, you mingle with a lot of different people. You get to see people that maybe know you and you don't know them, or they know us. So, it's really a fun time. It's a great time. I believe, David, it's $50 a seat. I think it is what it is if you want to go. And again, it may be too late to get tickets, but I advise you to call Pam Whittle at 904-964-5278. I don't know, David. I'll have to find that out. Let me get with Pam. Maybe. Should I give it away?
Go ahead.
Hey,
maybe.
I may ask Pam if David and my guys can stream this. Show y'all a little bit of what's going on in there on a Saturday night, which would be good for y'all to see. And again, it should be a great time. So, with saying that, David, I've got a couple of things here from the school. I want to congratulate this month's top tornadoes: Easton Wynn, August Leffers, Elijah Lawrence, and James Hudgens for being model students at BHS High School. Listen to this. I wish this was happening when I was in school. Are you interested, Dave, in getting some work experience at ViStar Credit Union?
Yes.
All right. Well, listen up. For any freshman, sophomore, or junior, or older person that is interested in the opportunity, the ViStar branch on campus is handing out applications for a paid internship. You can get them during your lunch break, David. All you got to do is go up to the office and say, "Hey, Miss Shelley, can I get an application for ViStar?" She's going to say, "Yes, David," right along with your freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that's going to be helping you out. And they will be accepted until March the 1st. So you got a month. So grab one while you can before it's too late. If you have any questions or concerns, drop by that ViStar on campus, and they will be happy to answer any questions. Are you going to apply, David?
I'm going to apply.
You're going to apply?
Yes. I don't know what I'm going to apply for.
Well, I know what you can apply for. I can help you out. So can Austin.
Yeah.
I have. No.
No? Okay. Well, let me tell him, Austin. So you can bring one of your chairs up. Yeah, bring one of your tubs and sinks up, or use theirs or whatever, and give all those nice men and women, young men and women, a nice haircut before they start.
Wow.
What do you think? You'll be a ViStar member then. You'll be a ViStar employee.
That's pretty good.
That is good, isn't it? That's not bad. Hey, that's not bad for an old guy, is it?
Oh, no, I'm going to have to get back with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, make them all nice and pretty. Man, when you go and see a teller, you want them to be all sharp and pressed up when they're handing you money, right?
By the time I get done with them, they'll want them use them as executives.
Oh!
Whoa! You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Executives. Yeah. The book club meeting is on Wednesdays for all you guys during 6th period. Hey, David, how about this one? You may be getting involved in this one. Valentine's photo shoot starts January 30th. Hey,
That was
that's
Monday.
too late, David. You're not going to get an opportunity for that.
Yeah.
How about the Little Women's Club? Their meeting will be Wednesday, February the 8th. Miss Leverson will add you to that list. By the way, guess what, Austin? You are the guest speaker
No.
on Wednesday, February 8th at the Little Women's Club. They want you to wear a kilt. All right. Prom tickets are currently $85 and will go up in February. Seniors who purchased a ticket last year can purchase one for $25. All non-junior senior guests cost $100. BHS guests must complete a verification form. Those will be available right now. Are you taking, is Riley going to the prom?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you taking her? You her date?
No, she's got a boyfriend now.
Really? So you can't go to the prom?
I can sneak in.
We can. Hey, maybe
Whoa.
we can live stream it.
Oh.
I know
On the
J.D.
spot,
Norman. I
David
think.
Rodgers could be there.
Hey, you know what?
And I
With y'all guys, because I think me and J.D. Norman are the DJs for that. I'm not quite sure on that. He's got most of the proms going on around here, and me and him is sort of in cahoots together a little bit. Let's find out if that's the truth. But we can have Byron, you, and Mitchell host that show while we're up there doing our thing.
And I got
sounds-
hotspot data connectivity.
Oh, boy. Tutoring this week. It will be in the library from 3:45 to 4:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All you have to do is show up and be ready to work. One of my favorite things, David, I think you were in this too. Fellowship of Christian Athletes meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Please come for free food and fellowship. All students are welcome. That's a great organization, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Teaches you not only sports, but value, life value, and just being a good citizen and a good person and trying to walk in the path of God. And it's really a good organization. Absolutely. Yearbooks are now on sale for $85 and will go up to $100 tomorrow, February 1st. You can purchase one by going to yearbookordercenter.com and entering this school code, ladies and gentlemen. David, type this school code in. You got it on the lower thirds. Ready? School code for the yearbook, 14547. That school code is 14547. Nameplates for those, though, yearbooks, have to be ordered online. There it is, the school code right there on the lower thirds, 14547 for your yearbooks. All right, reminders, because, hey, you know, these people, David, you know, we're halfway done through the school year, a little over halfway, and we're still breaking rules. So, reminders, absolutely no food or drinks other than water allowed in classrooms. Bring a large water bottle to school. No outside food deliveries. Multiple parking violations may result in a citation of your vehicle being towed. Make sure to properly display your parking pass on your rearview mirror. And David, the most important one, and I know Riley does this because Riley's a good student, students should be checking and reading their school emails on a daily basis for important information and letting their mothers and fathers know what's going on in there. Right, David?
Yes, sir.
God demand, if you don't, then, hey, parents get blindsided with things, and that's never any good. So, also, we have basketball, girls basketball, I think are in districts this week.
Oh,
Yes, boys basketball not doing so hot from that state championship from last year. Don't even know if they're going to go to the districts or not. I think everybody's invited, but they've only won 1 or 2 games, David, all year, the boys.
how many games do we get?
So there's, I think there was 15 or 16 in the season, 17, 18, something like that, and we're 1 or 2, and not very good for the boys. The girls aren't doing half bad.
You go, girls.
You go, girls. That's right. We're rooting you on. Also, by the way, I almost forgot. The girls weightlifting team plays second in district. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
They got the second place district championship, and 4 of our girls won their overall class. Takira Balkan was one. There was a couple of others, and I wish I would have remembered all their names. But girls, you know who you are. You're going on to regionals next week, David. This coming up weekend be regionals. So hopefully those girls can move on and win their class again. Automatic state championship qualifier. And let's see what we can do again in the state championship, buddy. I'll tell you, we've got some good things going on at Bradford High School right now.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. All right, David. Now, of course, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, he is the man with all kinds of weather knowledge.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Come on around here, Austin. Come on around here with me right here. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, sit down right here, brother. Now, God, you're tall, son. Sit down right here.
Of course I'm
Here
tall.
he is. He is the famous, the one and only Mr. Austin Stevens. Welcome in, Austin, to the show. You've been doing a great job, brother, by the way, with the weather and the YouTube and getting the show uploaded in a timely fashion. I've got to give you, Austin, you are, I didn't even tell anybody this, you are the On the Spot with David Rodgers and On the Spot Motorsports Media. Guess what?
What?
Person of the month.
Oh.
Person of the month. Crew member of the month. We will put that on our site, David, across the lower thirds. Austin Stevens, thank you. What do you have for us on the weather?
All right, so y'all can see here on the iPad here, we have a developing ice storm that developed down here in Texas. We'll move off through Arkansas into Tennessee with up to almost 0.75 inches of ice, David.
Whoa.
Coming down. And the worst thing is we're going to have freezing drizzle back here in Texas. Freezing drizzle is the worst because you can have ice accumulate, and, well, when that
Let
water...
me show him a little bit, Austin, right here.
When
There
that
you go.
water's not moving, guess what happens? It freezes. Down in the south towards Louisiana into Mississippi and Alabama, showers and thunderstorms, and Florida will get in on the thunderstorm activity not till Friday. Otherwise, daytime highs in the mid-80s
Ooh.
today and yesterday. Fort Myers, guess how hot it was in Fort Myers?
How hot was it in Fort Myers?
Take a guess. Let's see.
Let me
There
see.
they go.
88 degrees.
Oh, you're close.
Ooh.
What about you, Dave Holland?
89.
You say 89. Oh, y'all are on the hot side there. It was 86, and it was the
Oh,
warmest.
that's close.
Close. He said it was close.
It was the warmest spot in America.
Really?
The
Fort
whole,
Myers.
the whole United
The
States.
whole United States, to include all of California, all of it.
Yep.
Wow.
Hawaii.
Okay.
Fort Myers, Florida was the hottest on the temperature scale. I haven't looked at records yet, but I think we've set a daily high record of 85 in Jacksonville. It's been the hottest, and I'm afraid if this pattern keeps going, we're gonna have a hot summer.
I told people at work that I think this summer, and I always listen to what he says. Something tells me this. I agree with him. I think it's going to be hot.
We're gonna have a little cool snap this weekend where it's gonna go down to about 40,
Right.
and then it's gonna warm right back up. By time mid next week, it's gonna be spring again.
So,
High up near 80.
you know, Dwight Allen listens to our show, and you know Byron, of course. I wish he was here, but he's not right now. You know, those are hunters. Mm-hmm. So, is the weather going to be nice for them to hunt this weekend?
That's a gamble of cards I don't want to really touch. But
Right.
Friday, no. Saturday, iffy. Sunday, yes.
Okay, so Friday. Okay, what you got, David?
I got.
Oh, we got the 4-day forecast, don't we?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
snap.
Yes,
There
sir.
it is.
And,
All right.
Wednesday, it looks like we're going to have 78 in the high.
Wow.
And 53 in the low.
Nice.
With a 5% chance of rain.
Okay.
Thursday, it looks like 79 high, 54 low, with a 10% chance of rain.
Austin, you agreeing with this so far?
The nighttime lows, as of now, based on our readings of the fog that happened this morning, but was that dense this morning?
It was dense, I'll tell you. I was
That was
scared
pretty
going into
wild.
work.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Friday it's going to be high 76, a little lower than Thursday with a low 48 for the nighttime and 10% chance of rain. And Saturday, we're going to drop a little bit more for 69 for the high and 54 for the low.
There's your 4-day forecast. Now, I know you said Friday.
Yeah,
you would definitely that has
one,
increased now.
Yeah, that has increased to about 70%. FYI, because of the front, we did not know if the front was going to survive all the way to here.
Very good.
And the high on Wednesday will be lifted to an 81, and then Thursday 79 is correct because of the jet flow that we have along and ahead of the boundary.
Okay, very good. Austin, thank you much again for that weather update, and we'll get you at the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
And again, congratulations for being the crew member of the month for On the Spot Motorsports Media and On the Spot with David Rodgers. How about that?
Even with that severe weather last week, I'm glad we don't see no tornado watches right now.
I'm with you.
That even with that severe weather, I had that show up on YouTube by 1 in the morning, and I was running around the next day.
All right, here we go. Mark Udy's watching. Robert McGee, we're keeping brick at City Yard to be placed back after paving. Hello, Mark Udy. How are you? Randy Brooks is watching. Phil Jackson's watching. Dwight Allen. Never heard of that brand of gas stove. Cheaper is always better. Dwight Allen. Hey, that's definitely that. Ain't that American Patriot for you, Dwight Allen? Look at him. Justin Michael's watching. Johnny Waterson's watching. Say hello to Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, Big Johnny. Man, we've talked about that Bike Fest, David, on this show so many times, haven't we?
Yeah.
Those two that he put on was absolutely fantastic. Mark Udy says, I apologize about the picture I sent you on Facebook Messenger. I didn't get a chance to look at that, so I'll look at it later. Ricky Autistic's watching. Ricky, sorry I won't be at the event on Saturday, but I do promise you I will be at the next one. I need to talk to you about this Forbidden Kingdom, guys. They're still on my back, David. They're still, and he's going to be antagonizing me for me missing this. You know he's going to call me every name in the book, right?
Yeah, best thing to do is to ignore them.
I think so. Yeah. The chamber banquet will be so much fun, Shirley says. I know you'll do a great job. Thank you. Bradford strawberries are the best. You will probably get a cake.
A shortcake?
Strawberries, yeah. You know it, man. You know it. Let's see. I'm doing some smoking for the banquet this year. Dwight will be there then. He's doing some smoking for the, yeah. That'll work. Shirley says, Dwight, that will be wonderful. It's going to be decorated so amazingly, she said. Billy Rayburn. I know he's off his meds now. You know what he thought the thing was?
Uh-oh.
Brokeback Mountain. Oh, no. Billy Rayburn.
The theme.
I can't do it no more.
Brokeback Mountain. Oh, my God. I'd like to know how they're going to decorate that if it's the theme from Brokeback Mountain.
I don't think about
Me neither. Dwight Allen said Game of Thrones, which he's right, so did Shirley. Yeah. Billy, get on those meds. Let Shelley know I hope she feels better. And I said hello, Roy Jackson. Yeah, she's doing fine. She just gets tired, and, you know, she's just, she likes to be at home resting, you know what I mean? And I don't blame her for not getting involved in a lot of these events. You know, she fought that breast cancer for a long time. You know that. And,
she's a survivor.
She is, and that's exactly right. Oh, Billy Rayburn says, just bring a lot of chapstick.
Oh!
Whoa, boy. Dave, the show's going off the rails, baby.
You want a dust storm with that chopstick?
Oh, boy. Sherry Felipe is watching. I know what she's watching. You know why? She won't say the answer is, and I don't even have one. But I can throw one out to you.
Oh, there you go.
How about that? Hey, guys, I got here as soon as I could. Renee Stegall Shaw, one of our favorite people from Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Yeah.
One of my great friends, man. I tell you, Renee is near and dear to me. She has become an outstanding young lady. She always has been. She's a great family lady. She's a great grandmother. She's got a bunch of grandchildren. We had a great time at the reunion. Oh man, we got to reminisce back, and it was just such a wonderful time. And she brought one of her oldest daughters with her, And, man, I tell you, it was just so much fun, man. And, Renee, I really respect you a lot. And thank you for tuning in and keeping up with me. We go way back.
Any friend of yours, Dave, is a friend
Of the show and all of us. And absolutely. And we're going to go do a show there, David. I promise you that we need to go do a show there.
Guess what?
J.J. Thompson's on. You know J.J.? Absolutely. Yeah, J.J. Let Austin borrow your kilt. He may have to wrap it around twice, but he'll be styling. That's Renee Stegall Shaw says that. Hello, Sherry. How are you? Let him borrow your kilt.
Last I checked, that wasn't on my calendar.
It could be. Brady Rayburg's watching. Richard Monroe's watching. She said, awesome, Austin, for your award that you got from us. So you want to tell Renee, say thank you?
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Renee. Oh, Dwight Allen says, I didn't realize this, man. I thought there's still a couple of weeks left. He said hunting season's over here. I didn't realize, is it? I guess, man. I thought it went into February a couple of. Well,
it depends on what you're gonna hunt. Because I know deer hunting season over there by Kingsley Lake and all that.
Yeah.
I have a few friends and they go hunting in March.
Well, if you're going hunting, Austin, Gainesville has kilts over there.
Yeah, kilts over there. So make sure you grab one. You're going Scottish hunting.
No.
Kilt hunting, yeah.
Yeah, kilt.
No, I don't go into Gainesville, all right?
Well, wait a minute.
I don't go into
Billy Rayburg says you and that kilt have something in common. Brokeback Mountain. What does that mean? Good God, how mean.
Hey, I don't go into People's Republic of Alachua County, all right?
Do you wear boots with your kilt?
David Thea says, does Billy have an update from the fellow with the transplant? Been praying for positive outcome. Yes, we do. Billy, if you're still on, give us a little bit more of an update. But what I've seen on Facebook and what I've answered on Facebook, he's doing just fine. The surgery went well. He's in recovery. That's good. And hopefully he's going to be back at 100% real soon.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is awesome. He's been waiting for that, and he finally got it. And like I said, the surgery went well. So hopefully Billy will be back on that. Shelley said, I believe the transplant was successful, and he's doing well. David Thea said, thank you, Shirley, and Roy Jackson gives a thumbs up on that. Let's move on, David, because people, I can't have you leave without doing, hey, what's the date, right?
What's the date?
And now, everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM. Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Bellis.
That's a good radio station. Might be a little bit biased.
Okay. All right, as soon as I get a word in, and my boss is on Friday night, and Byron's boss on Friday night, as we do tornado football games, and of course the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff, including owner John Miller, editor-in-chief Mark Crawford, the ad guru himself, J.R. Tillman, and of course Mr. Photogenic himself, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. All right, these are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during, David, the last week of January in what year? Bradford's finest prepare for the worst. Man arrested for attacking football player during workout. Rehab receptionist stole from 15 residents. Are you kidding me? Was that January of 2014, 2016, or 2018? Let's go back, David. Bradford's finest prepare for the worst. Man arrested for attacking football player during workout. Rehab receptionist stole from 15 residents. Was that the last week of January in 2014, 2016, or 2018? Let me read off some things for you and help you out. Bradford County law enforcement, fire rescue, and school officials conducted an active assailant drill on the Bradford High School campus. The exercise was scheduled for several months earlier, but Hurricane Michael delayed the training. That gives it away to Austin.
That gives it away.
That gives it away to Austin. Davion Brashad Austin was arrested for battery and larceny following a fight involving Bradford High School football players.
Wow.
Amanda Brooke Morrow, 35, a former receptionist of Riverwood Health and Rehabilitation Center, on January 29th, after the state's attorney's office accused a Stark resident of stealing money from 15 of the facility's patients, taking over $300.
Wow.
That's bad when you got to steal from the residents of that home.
That's
So, here's where you come in. You guess the date. We put your name in the hat. This is the last one for January. Me and David and Austin and hopefully Byron and Mitchell, if he's here, will be pulling a name out for the winner of a $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. That's what you have a chance to win. $25, David, on us. And the Downtown Grill, you can put that toward an appetizer, drinks, food. You can do it on trivia night, which, by the way, Thursday night team trivia at the Downtown Grill, 7:30 with your host, David Rodgers. And, David, you can put this word across the lower thirds if you want to. The word of the answer is decision. DECISION. That's going to be decision. Now, the last two winners, of course, was Roy Jackson, Melissa Cribbs, which I've got y'all's gift certificates here. So congratulations to them. And now, David, in February, next week, next Tuesday night, we're going to have another winner. So here's your chance to take a guess. Was that January of 2014, 2016, or 2018? Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Rodgers. I'm your host here each and every Tuesday night here with On the Spot with David Rodgers. Right along. Hey, crew member of the month, David, Mr. Austin Stevens, with the weather and, of course, YouTube and any other thing we can find him to do.
Fun fact, did you know the year's 8% done?
Yes, it is. How about that, huh?
It's going by too fast. You need to put the brakes on, David.
Well, I know it, man, because all I'm doing is just getting older, Austin. You can see it by the hair. Also,
I didn't say nothing!
The Dancing Destroyer, Dave Holland, he's here tonight. Dave, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. And yes, David is going to demonstrate next week how to do the Cupid Shuffle. The Dancing Destroyer. Mark that on your calendar. Dave Holland. Hey, I'm going to have to show you how to do that real quick, brother. So you'll be able to do that. But anyway, next Tuesday.
I'm going to put it in my calendar.
Next Tuesday, Dave will show you that move.
Oh, snap.
Oh, buddy, I'm sorry, David. All right. So,
Put me
go
on
back.
the spot.
No pun intended. All right, here we go, David. All right, so let's go back to those dates. Let's go back to the things and then those dates. So here we go. Bradford's finest prepare for the worst. Man arrested for attacking football player during workout. Rehab receptionist stole from 15 residents. Was that the end of January of 2014, 2016, or 2018? We've got a couple of guesses coming in. David, if you don't mind, sir. Well, no, I'll write them. Here we go. Randy Brooks. Well, let's go back a minute here. David Theus says 2014. How about that? Let's see. David Theus, 2018. I cheated.
Oh, come on!
Hey, is it 2014 or 2018? Because I already know the answer. And I can assure you,
I can't say
maybe
nothing.
one of those is right. I don't know. But anyway, we'll put him for both, David, and maybe he'll come back. All right. Melissa Cribbs says 2018. Okay. Mark Goody says 2014.
Oh.
How about that? Okay. Nobody said 2016 so far. Let's see. Sheree Alvarez is watching the show tonight. Hello, Sheree. Glad to have you aboard with us. Stephanie is my eldest child and only daughter. I have twin boys 8 years behind her, and those three have blessed me with 8 grandkids. I have 11 in total, as my husband's eldest son has 2, and my youngest son's wife and had a daughter already when they married. But I counted them all, she says, 6 girls and 5 boys. That's Renee Stegall-Shaw.
Wow.
That's a big family. I guarantee you they have fun at family reunions. I assure you of that.
Wow.
Yeah, so. Allen says, D. White Allen, the Patriot. The Patriot missile. He says, Austin 2018. Randy Brooks says 2014. Nobody said 2016 yet, David.
I hear crickets from.
I hear crickets. Shirley Bagwell says 2018. 2018. Writing them down. Dana Bell is watching. How you doing tonight, Dana? Glad to have you along with us. Austin Stevens in the house.
Yep.
Mr. Dave Holland, the dancing destroyer, the king of sting, the master of all disasters. He's here. Mr. Byron Bagwell, I'm hoping he'll show up with us tonight. We still got a little bit of time, David. Maybe he will. And I'm your host, David Rodgers. God bless you for coming on. Brad and Donna Hildreth is on. Thank you for coming on. Roy Jackson says, give me that 2016, David.
Whoa.
That's one. All right. Let's see. On the count of three, David and Austin. One, two, three. Hello, Alvy. There he is. TT, Tammy Testone says 2018. Mark Udi says 2018.
Interesting.
A pattern here, right, Austin?
If I do say so myself.
Dave Holland Jr. is watching. You know Dave Holland Jr.?
I know him.
Do you?
Yeah,
I know him
he's
too.
a great
Great guy?
painter.
Does handiwork.
Man.
If you need some handiwork done, all you got to do, if you can't get a hold of Dave Holland Jr., hey, you get a hold of Dave Holland Sr. He knows how to get a hold of Dave Holland Jr. Or myself, I know how to get a hold of him as well. And he will come out and he will price up what you need done.
Exactly.
And man, he will do it. And he will do it with style, class, honesty. He's the guy.
He helped me lay a floor, and he was so precise about the measurements that it impressed his daddy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Preston's daddy.
he might have a job.
David, this. All right, let's see. Mark Udi says, Katie, Dwight Allen still on. Mitchell Gunner, Shirley Bagwell. We will have pro stock racer Alan Przinski on the Motorsports Podcast Thursday night. He must have got it
Awesome.
solidified at 7. Want to talk about that before we get to these answers. Hey, look here. You want to talk about a page that's blowing up? We have an established base page here, and it's got great numbers. But Mitchell Gunner, and what we put together, all of us put together, within the last year, Mitchell has taken that page and boosted it up some, and going out to these events and us doing these events. I'll go with him. Dave's going. Matter of fact, at the Gator Nationals, that Saturday night, what's that motel we're going to be at? Over in Celebration Point.
Yeah.
We're going to be there interviewing racers after Saturday's run, and we're going to be manned till probably midnight. So it's going to start about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Maybe Mitchell will tell us where that's at exactly. Is it the Imperial?
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. But anyway, we're going to be there, me, Dave, and Mitchell, and hopefully Byron. Maybe Austin can come. We'll see. That's a little late there, but we'll see what happens.
Late? You kidding me? When the hurricane
Well,
hit,
but late if mom will let you go with us.
Oh,
Yeah, that's going to have to be another thing. Dave Holland Jr. says, lots of laughs. Thanks, guys. Indigo is the motel hotel.
Oh.
The Indigo right there. Yeah, so we'll be at the Indigo right after the Gator Nationals. Dave, that's always fun. We had a great time last year. Wes Buck. We had Lyle Barnett and Josh Hart. We had them two on. We were going to get old girl on, man, but we waited until Erica enters. Yeah, we waited a little too late, but we're going to see if we can get her first, and then we'll see if we can get the beer drinkers afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Let them get a few beers in.
yeah, let them get a few beers in them, man. I'm going to tell you, this ought to be a great show. Watch On the Spot Motorsports media page with Mitchell Gunner, host. He's got a co-host also now. Hopefully he can join him on Thursday night. He's out of Utah. He's going to be introducing him. And, of course, Alan Przinski on Thursday night. Ought to be a great show, David.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. Before I give the answer, what is your guess, sir? Because you...
I can't answer. I kind of know this.
Well, no, you can. You can. It's the final now.
All right. My calculations are correct. It's 2018.
2018. Okay. David?
Wow. Nobody took 16.
One, Roy Jackson.
Everybody's taking 18.
Yeah. 18 and 14.
I'm going to go with 14.
You're going to go with 14.
It's a guess, but
It's a guess.
it's a
Okay.
long guess.
I didn't see the answer because, of course, it was filtered to us. I think because of the storm, if I remember correctly, and I do remember, I am pretty sure it's 2014.
Michael, right? The
Mike, yeah.
Michael.
2014.
Yeah,
you want to? Do you agree with me there? Do you want to? Can you think that you was a real young man back then? though? You was probably wasn't into this, right?
Hurricane Michael was a Category 5 hurricane that slammed into the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Let me check. But
Yeah,
there
and I
was
think-
another one prior to that. I know about Matthew. And
Okay.
Michael was.
Mitchell says 18.
Yeah, I would have to say it's 2018. I'd have to go. back
Okay,
and
you're
look
going
at
with
records.
2018 too. All right. David, I don't know the answer here. Can we pull up the answer here? All right. All you winners are going to move forward. And the answer is, wait for it, February of 2014.
Oh, so there was a Michael prior.
Wow.
Wow. All you, congratulations. DT, you know who you are. David Theus, Mark Udi, Randy Brooks.
see,
And who else just said 2014? Anybody else said 2018 or 2016? So,
this was before
Yeah.
Mrs. Westers was established. So
yeah, correct. And I knew you was a young man. That wasn't fair to you, really. And I know you started getting into this recently. So,
and Michael, the previous Michael, not the Michael that slammed into
Right.
to the Panhandle. That
Right.
that one must have been really weak in my memory to let it
correct.
slide.
I agree. 2014. So, all you guys get a free pass in the next week's drawing. David, remind me that we got a drawing next week for our winner for the $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill on behalf of On the Spot with David Rodgers. Don't forget that word is decision. DECISION for the answer is. For all you guys that are watching and ready for Thursday night team trivia at 7:30. And I'd be remiss. Well, I don't think he's having it because of everything that's going on. But generally, at the Fun Point, we got trivia on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. Your host, Michael Heater.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. If y'all don't know, I want you to pray for Michael and his family. Michael's had several things come up in the last
Yes.
couple of weeks. And Michael Heater, who was on our show, and maybe will come back at some point when he's not so busy. But, you know, David, they say you can premonition things and things like that. You know, he's got this fantastic fire brigade thing going as we see some of the stuff here. He's trying to get that business cooking, and he decided just to take a hiatus back and concentrate on those things there. But as all this was going on, Lisa Heater's mother, which we adore very much, Miss Lisa Heater, her mother passed away, and we want to send our prayers and condolences to her and the family. I know that was a tough loss. And then on top of that, Michael Heater's mother, who is 93 years old, and she is about as spunky as you will ever see a lady, David. You know that, and I know it. She gets out and does things, drives. She'll get out there and run. She'll do all kinds of things. She just got out of some surgery yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? Yesterday? Yesterday.
Yeah,
And she's on her way to recovery. Michael said that she's going to recover well. So please keep prayers and condolences and your thoughts with the Heater family. And, of course, Lisa Heater now, her family as well, which she was known as Lisa Terry before she married Michael. But prayers and condolences go out to that
Lisa,
family.
I know-
Michael's mother inspires me. I mean, here, 93,
93.
wanting to fly a plane, jump out of
A
a
plane.
plane. I'm
She
not,
runs and jumps over things.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, who does that?
She's constantly talking about her next adventure.
Yes. And that right there is unbelievable what she does. It is. I just can't say too much more. But keep him in your prayers. But generally, he hosts trivia on Wednesday nights at Fun Point. Starts at 7 o'clock. He's got a good trivia over there. If you can't make it over there, make it to mine. If you can't make it to mine, make it to his. And if you want to play both days, come on Wednesday and Thursday. We really don't care. Come on. Have some fun. Have some food. Have some great beverages. Have laughter and fun at both places. But anyway, hey, just keep in mind, we do have trivia on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Dwight Allen says, good night, everyone. God bless America. Dwight, before you go, real quick, I just want to talk to you, say a couple of things. This country, I know me and you and Byron, we all talk a little bit. This country is still the greatest country in the world today. Yes. It doesn't matter what we're going through, who's running it. I still believe that we can turn this thing around, David, and with God's willingness and His helping hand and His hand, that we can definitely get some things accomplished. So I did want to say that to you, Dwight. And also, we talk about the things that are going on with the Donald Trump investigation and the Joe Biden investigation. Hey, man, if these guys are found guilty of what they said, they're doing secret documents, things like that, they need to be punished, David. We hear about this all the time. You know what I'm saying about, hey, we're going, we're investigating this, investigating that. We found you guilty. But you know what? No penalty ever comes down, David. Why is that? Why is that? I'm trying to figure out why no penalty ever comes down on any of these politicians. Do you know why? Because they got a stranglehold on not only the Congress, they got a stranglehold on the president, the executive branch, and the judicial branch, I think. And that's why I don't think a lot of this comes down and people get punished, but people should get punished. If you do the crime, what is it? You better be able to do the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can go back on further instances, but we'll get into that here in a minute as we're getting ready to go into the Byron Bagwell segment, and we're getting ready to do that here in just a second, David. So we're going to go to a commercial break, David, before we go to that segment. Absolutely.
Schuster and Sabin is the leading firm in Florida, with 8 offices from the Panhandle to the Florida Keys to handle your claims for personal injury, workplace violations, and PIP claims for medical professionals. Visit us online at www.piplaw.com or call 24 hours a day at 877-511-7829. Schuster and Sabin Law Offices for all your legal needs.
And now, with the latest national and international update, here is Your World Report with Byron Bagwell.
All right, welcome back to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers, creator and owner of the show, right along with Mr. Dave Holland, who's our senior producer, editor, you name it, director. He does it all. He's known as the Dancing Destroyer, the King of Sting, the master of all disasters. That's Mr. Dave Holland. Right along with me, crew member of the month, we're On the Spot with David Rodgers and On the Spot Motorsports media page, Mr. Austin Stevens. The missing Byron Bagwell is not here tonight as he had to work late, but we are into his segment, David. Let's bring up that news, David, that we were talking about. Gail Allen, I want to welcome you in here. I want to go over some national news before we talk a little bit about what's going on nationally here. We pulled up some stories here that you would find very interesting here. David, you need to go down just a little bit. There we go. Right there. At least 59 people were killed and more than 150 injured in a suicide bombing on a mosque inside a high-security police compound in the northwestern city of Peshawar, Pakistan. More than 300 people were praying at the mosque when the roof collapsed, and many of the victims were police officers. How about that? The attack comes less than 1 year after 63 people were killed in a suicide bomb attack on a different mosque in Peshawar. A deadline for 7 states to agree on how to reduce their use of Colorado River water hits today as the Department of the Interior looks to stem historic drops in the system's water volume. A 23-year drought, the worst in 1,200 years, has pushed Hoover Dam's Lake Mead to historic lows.
I can talk more about that if you want me to.
Sure.
So I know the people that we're working closely with to get mobile command center hotspots for the show to broadcast anywhere in this country, including Mexico, by the way. We were talking about it, and the owner of the plans that I'm renting stuff through, he lives out there. He's lived out there all his life, and he did video documentaries on Lake Mead and how that lake went thousands of acres down in just 6 months. I mean, it's sad that you had things come up like I don't want to be graphic about this, but bodies of people that were unfortunately taken out there and murdered back in the 90s, 80s, and 70s and 60s were being recovered thanks to this lake starting to dry up. They are looking into officially telling California to stop pulling from Lake Mead because of all the rain that they have received. And that lake was supposed to be designed for only Vegas to have topping into, Nevada. But California needed it for Southern California because they're a desert. That's their only water source, inland for fresh water. But now that all the rain and then the several metric tons of water that are up in the mountains for the snow, since the drought has kind of I don't want to say fully got rid of, but has lessened in severity from the last 23 years. It is that's why they're looking into amending this law and everything. And bless you.
All right. Thank you for that comment, Austin. If you want to hear more of that, all you got to do is hit him on Austin's weather service, and he can explain that to you a little bit more. The last commercial Boeing 747, known as the Queen of the Skies and considered the world's first jumbo jet, was delivered to Cargo Center Atlas Air today in what is the final rollout of the iconic aircraft. The 4-engine hump-shaped 747 is the world's first twin-aisle airplane. David, you know that?
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was manufactured in 1968 and entered service with now defunct Pan American World Airways January 22nd, 1970, enabling people to fly faster and longer distances than before. Wow. Hey, that's an iconic
crazy
airplane, huh? 747.
Yes.
All right. Florida has a broad public records law, Chapter 119, Florida statutes. Most written communications to or from state and local officials are public records, ladies and gentlemen, obtainable by the public upon request. Emails sent to and from county systems may be considered public and will only be withheld from disclosure if deemed confidential pursuant to the laws of the state of Florida. That is, David, let me go back again. That is go back just a little bit right there. That is Chapter 119 Florida statutes. So, hey, public records for everybody if you're requesting. So we're hiding nothing, and I'm assuming Ron DeSantis says, look at everything that I've got. Ron DeSantis is a no-play guy. Hey, if he tells you he's going to do something, he usually does, and if he says, you want to check me out, go ahead. He ain't afraid of anything. No. So I'm glad we still got him as a governor.
It's just like when you email a school teacher, it's public records. There's a little banner at the very bottom of the email because I've had to, email a few people in the county school district, and it shows that.
Good. So shows that statute?
No, it not even that. This was before this statute. Emails are public records, and then within the Clay County School Board they were. So a teacher's emails, if needed to be confidential, it was better to reach out. The disclaimer showed that it was better to reach out to this office in writing or via phone or in person.
Renee Stigall-Shaw said, you and I both know from our former work environment that if we mishandle classified material, we'd be under the jail. Really tortures me that these bigwigs get away with it. I fully agree.
I agree.
I agree. Dave Holland Jr. says, Trump was a good president. We need another one like him. Trump 2024. Agreed. I wish he would have stuck to the business at hand without all the boastful comments and grandstanding, and I agree with that too. I think, David, that's what bit Trump in this last election. Now, we know some shenanigans were going on, and I could get into that all night. But I think that race wouldn't have been nowhere near as close. But I just think people, even Republicans and conservatives, just got tired of him grandstanding. And, going on social media, doing this, doing that. I wish he'd have stayed off of there. He was a hell of a president, great president. He turned this economy around, David. He created more jobs than probably the only other president I know that I could really even stack him up to that I know is Ronald Reagan. When Reagan did the things he did from 80 to 88. And, Donald Trump did some tremendous, tremendous things. And, gas prices were down. Food was down. I mean, people were able to take vacations because they had enough money, to do these things. And I just really think, David, I'd like to get your opinion on that. And people out there in the audience and our viewers, what you think. But I just think that, as Renee Stegall-Shaw said, I think the boasting, the grandstanding, some of the things that he really didn't need to get involved in, a lot of social media stuff. If he'd have stayed off of that, kept doing his job, I think you'd see Donald Trump right now as president, because you got to admit, even the Democrats, and it doesn't matter what race, color, or religion, or ethnic background that you have, even they were saying, man, hey, gas prices are down, food is down, plenty of jobs. You could walk right around the corner and get you a job. That's the way it was. Even during Ronald Reagan's administration and President Trump, they mirror each other. But I just think some of the grandstanding, some of the boasting, and some of the things that he did outside of the presidency really took him to, really, weighed on his being reelected. Because honestly, brothers and sisters and viewers, that race shouldn't have been that close.
And it's just like back in August, speaking of bills and everything, at one point it was $1,200 to run Austin's Weather Service. $1,200 to just run my business and keep everything running.
And let's while you're talking about your business there, and piggybacking off of that, that's what you have to pay. Mm-hmm. That it's a business, but just like this one here, except with whatever sponsorship we got, that's making you no money. You do that because you love to do it. Yep. That's your passion to do it. And you're getting no help from the government. And I think you're doing a great deed, providing weather for thousands and thousands of people.
The weather station alone at one point was $500 a month.
Have you ever tried to petition the government for help on that? I think you should.
We're looking into it.
Good.
We are.
Okay, good.
I'm looking into talking to Tallahassee.
Good. And I hope, and I think if you get into the right hands, you may be able to get paid, at least for your equipment and maybe some, because you're on not only when the weather's beautiful, but when the weather is nasty and hurricanes and tornadoes, you're still up and running. As long as you have power and your ability, you're out there doing what you need to do. And I think you need to be compensated for that. Me personally, Dave.
Yeah, I agree.
So, good job, Austin. Dave Holland Jr. These presidents that have no politics behind them seem to run this country better. Let's call it what it is. It's a business-minded person. We all know that Donald Trump was a businessman. He never said one time that he was a politician. He didn't want to be a politician. He didn't want to be even classified in that category. He was known as wanting to help the American people. He always stood behind that. Let's make America great again. He still stands behind that, and I really do believe that. I do. You've seen it. It's proof in the pudding.
I like his take on China.
I do too.
I like the fact that he
his stance on North Korea.
Bought all that oil for next to nothing.
Yep.
And put us in a number one category.
Yeah. You remember how he did that? Remember I explained what he did, right? So, old King Fahd there from Saudi Arabia says, man, I'm going to flood the market, man, with gasoline and oil, right? Oil. Mainly oil. So, he does that because he thinks that everybody else is going to buy it up. So, what does Donald Trump do? Okay. Yeah. You know what? Hey, you know what funds he used? He used the funds from the wall that he had in reserve for the wall and bought up all that oil. Yeah. Hey, fool me once, shame on who?
You.
Fool me twice.
Shame on me.
Yep, and he thought he was going to get one over. Donald Trump thinks like this. This is how he thinks. He thinks business-wise. Yeah. How can I maximize this? So, okay, so you have to put the wall back just a little bit. So what? We have an issue with that anyway. But hey, old boy floods the market with oil and petroleum products?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're darn right we're going to buy it up.
And we paid $15 a barrel.
Yes. Well, you remember it was even negative. You remember we was getting some numbers that it was negative money. It was pretty much on the house.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Well, it's not
Where is that savings at now?
Because the administration that we got in place right now is not about the people. I don't care what anybody tells me. I don't think this administration is about the people. I think it's about lacing their own pockets, their own gain.
Speaking of
we know what's happened with him and his son, and with the Democratic Party. And I told you, well, Dwight Allen gave you the number. I told you, here we go again, AOC. And I'm just not picking on her. I just know her story. I'm sure there's Republicans. I'm sure there's Democrats that's lacing their pockets. I assure you of that. But she was a bartender before she got elected as a congresswoman.
And she was a bartender in New York.
Yeah, she was a bartender in New York. She really didn't have all that much money. But what did the old boy say? She's worth $20 million now.
Yeah.
How does that happen in one term? Tell me that. You're taking money from somewhere. Your investments and your stocks can't be turning that good. If it is, I want your stock person's number and name, because I'm gonna put all my money and make my money turn that quick. Come on, man. You know that's a bunch of garbage. Let's see. Dave Holland Jr. said, that's right, David. David Holland said, Ronald Reagan, too. Yeah, well, Ronald Reagan faced the same things after the Jimmy Carter administration. That debacle in Iran that went on for 460-something days.
Yeah.
And our buddy, Ronald Reagan, gets in office. How many days was that, David? 8? He took care of it 8 days or something like that. He took care of that. It was done. It was done deal. But he faced the same things. That's why I said I compare Donald Trump to Ronald Reagan, just in different eras. You're talking 40 years apart. So, but both presidents were very good.
And it shows based on Donald Trump's tax returns that he lost money being president of this country.
He never took a salary. He donated his salary.
And then you got the current administration doesn't want to reveal their taxes.
Well, and that's again, to me, David, I want you to show me your brand new car. No, David, I'm not going to show you my brand new car. David, I'm going to be thinking, David, do you really have a brand new car? Right? Do I believe you? Do you have a brand new car? Or are you just telling me that?
Well, most people, all you got to do is say it and they'll believe it.
Right, and that's what's going on here, and that's what he was just saying. You know, why, if you don't want to show me something, to me, you're hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say to you. Are you hiding the truth from me, David, that you didn't get a brand new car?
I wouldn't hide it from you, David.
Oh, well, of course you wouldn't, because, hey, we're brothers.
I'd loan it to you.
Yeah, of course, you'd let me drive it. So,
but it's just,
let's see. David Thea says, cheaper than water, now look at it. It was cheaper than water. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now look at it. Yeah, you're exactly right.
It inflated.
Shirley Bagwell says, I believe it's about destroying our economy. No doubt, Shirley, and we've talked about this, and you've heard your son, which I wish he was here to talk about this particular subject, because I know how passionate he is about it, I know how passionate we are about it. Yeah, there's no doubt that it's about destroying the economy. Why can't this administration follow the last administration and fix it, or continue on with the progress and the foundation that Donald Trump laid out for them? Why did they go away from it? There's a reason. What's the reason? I don't know, but I can venture to say, and to control us. They want to know everything that we're doing. Let me give you a prime example, guys, and viewers that are watching. Cheryl, you're on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Are you? You look at Facebook?
No.
You don't?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay, yeah, I'm just asking. You look at Facebook, right? All right, let's say you and Austin are talking about cleaning your pool, which you said.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it funny, after y'all talk about it, how many ads come up on Facebook about pool cleaning? A new pool,
Actually,
this and that.
A lot of them.
A lot of them, right?
When she used to be on no particular poke at anything. This is just something that I've done based on research. When she was on Android, because now she is on an iPhone. I used to get bombarded by them ads, and she would. But now that she's been on an iPhone, it has not happened.
And that tells me something right there too. So, Android, who provides that, Austin? Google provides Android, right?
Yep.
Who provides the iPhone?
Apple.
If you ever know about Apple, which y'all do, Apple is more constringent on how you can use their stuff. You either got to pay for it or you got to get some kind of security code. Where Google, anybody just access that. And I'm telling you right now, the government knows what you're discussing. i.e. Facebook, just like I said.
Just like-
Hey, I was looking up, and I didn't mean to interrupt, Austin.
No, go ahead.
I was looking up motorcycles because me and you talked about going motorcycle riding, right? Yeah. So I looked up motorcycles on my Google account. Put it in there. Oh, yeah, man, I can't afford that. Well, guess what? I shut it down. I opened up Facebook, and every other a segment was about motorcycles. Get a Kawasaki, get a Harley, get a Suzuki. 5 ads in a row, David, after somebody's comment. You don't think the government is watching you and listening to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think what Austin's trying to say is, and I believe this, the government's going to find a way to hack that. You'll eventually going to get ads off of iPhone. I say that they're all in bed together in some sort of form or fashion. They're letting you lay low, drop your guard, and I'm telling you, Austin, I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me, I think that they're going to infiltrate that phone too. They infiltrate everything else. Why wouldn't they infiltrate that?
Oh, it's just like the iPhone 5S. The day, remember that killer that was over in California when the FBI wanted access to his phone, even though he was his iPhone, even though he was dead. And you know what Apple did? Apple told the government to go hang it.
Yeah,
and they're doing that now with iCloud. The FBI is really mad at Apple right now because in the newest iOS update, it's called iCloud encryption. It's,
all right,
encryption.
And I believe you, but you don't think they can get in if they want to get in? You don't think so?
No.
There is agencies out there, and I can name 3 of them for you that can infiltrate anything that you got your hands on.
Apple's pretty strong. I don't know.
Are you trying to tell me they're stronger than our federal government? I disagree.
Oh,
I disagree.
I can't.
I'm not saying that they. I'm saying can they?
I can't.
Right.
So far they haven't. So.
Right.
I can't say what on Facebook, but I can tell you behind closed doors.
I can tell you this. I know this for a fact. I used to fly on a top secret airplane that nobody knew anything about. No, nobody. And all of a sudden, Russia had our information. You want me to name you some? You don't think the Central Intelligence Agency can get to that phone if they wanted to?
I'm pretty sure they probably could, but
that's what I'm saying.
So far,
the NSA, National Security Administration, Department of Justice. I don't even trust them from here to.
But it is funny though. This one here on Facebook. You have to look up something, it does not come back.
And I think you're right. I think Apple does. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they haven't. I'm saying they can if they wanted to. Yeah. There's people in the Pentagon right now and working all through secret messages and secret things. I can assure you they could bust Apple's code if they wanted to.
This computer here is set. It's all for you. They can't see it on stream. But this computer right here, I have it set to where you cannot talk to it. Even whatever network it's connected to, you cannot do any SSH protocols. You cannot break into my system. And you would have to be on the local network. You'd have to be at my house, and you would have to try your best to get it.
If I was to send something to the CIA, and I agree with you, okay? I agree with you. If I send something to the CIA, NSA, and say, I believe that Austin Stevens is a spy, are you telling me they can't hack into your computer?
They'd have to come to my house and confiscate it. I have all network activity.
I'm not buying it. I agree with what your settings are, but I am telling you that somebody and upwards, and maybe you don't know. I'm just saying, Austin, there's hackers out there that are so good and work for the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, NSA, that they're trained to be able to get on that computer that you say has to be done from your house. But it has to go to that high level.
It has to go very high.
It has to go to the high level. And that's what I'm saying to you. Are you safe right here with what you've done? Absolutely you are. Except when it gets to the higher level.
I would love to challenge someone inside our government to try to get into my infiltrate.
And Dave Holland agrees with me too. Says, take it from me, they're already in your system. You may not even know it.
There's a movie.
You agree? Could be.
Possibly.
There's a movie running this month called Eagle Eye.
Yes.
It's exactly all about that.
Yep. I assure you, the government knows what Austin's weather service is doing.
Yeah.
The weather station. Oh yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah.
When that thing's updating, because it goes to the Irish weather system, which is the weather network for the National Weather Service. That does upload to the Irish system, which is the backbone of the weather service for our country.
Right.
Which is understandable.
Which is understandable. That's exactly right. Dave Holland Jr. says, they are the system. Yeah, they are. They are the system. You're exactly right, Dave. And I can tell you, if you don't think the government knows what you're doing, you're absolutely wrong. You're not living in today's world and reality, because this government knows exactly what you're doing. Again, I'm glad that Cheryl and them's got the iPhone, and if it's that good right now, I may go get me one. But like I said, I just happened to be looking up motorcycles the other day, and now I can show you my Facebook right now and show you all those ads. It is absolutely flat out ridiculous. So anyway, he said, leave your Wi-Fi on, and I bet you they can get in. Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that one bit.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And he says Bluetooth as well. Yeah, I believe you me. If probably shouldn't be saying this on the show, but I will. If I want to talk to you, something that's very secretive or personal to me and you, and anybody out here, listen to me. And Byron will back me up on this, and Shirley, and anybody else that's still on. And by the way, thank you for being on. It's been a great show. And I want to thank you for tuning in each and every week. And I want to finish off with this before we get to the final weather. David, if I want to talk to you about something that's secretive or private between me and you that I think brothers should talk about, I don't tell it to you over this.
I don't know.
You do it in person.
Thank you.
In a private conversation in the woods.
You don't never know who's listening here. And I'm telling you, hey, Bluetooth, stereo, what's that ran by? The FCC, the Federal Communications.
Your TV watches you.
Your TV.
I get Larry about even talking in the woods.
Yeah, hey, I would not doubt that there's something, even in this monitor, any TV, especially newer TVs, that the government hasn't put any kind of little chip or some kind of little recording device to listen what you're doing in your own living room. All day long, David, and viewing audience, that is invasion of your privacy.
Which would be a massive lawsuit when that is found out, FYI.
Yes.
A massive one.
Yes. If you can prove it. But now, you're going to have to know what you're looking for. Programmers, computer whizzes probably could figure it out. Me and you and us, we can't figure it out. I could bust open the back of a TV and I'm going, is that a chip? Could that be something? I wouldn't know. To be honest with you, and you wouldn't either. So
camera with a pinhole.
Yep. So here we go. Dave Holland says, and we're getting ready to wrap up the show, guys. David Theus, I'm glad you brought that up. We're running out of time for the show this week. I want to talk about that because me and Mitchell Gunner and Byron and Dave, we've all had a conversation about this, and I'm going to get to it, David, see if you agree. Dave Holland Jr. says, Bluetooth, I can get in. Yep, absolutely. You probably can. They can get anything, Roy Jackson says. Shirley says, only in person and away from any devices. Fully agree. You know what David Thea said? And everybody thinks it's so great. My daughter's got one. I think it's great. Alexa. Ho, 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 ho. That's the worst of it all.
Hey, Google.
Hey,
Google. Hey, Alexa. Can you tell me what the weather temp's going to be today? You don't think the government is hearing that? I'm glad David Thea said about that. We're going to talk about Alexa.
Why do you think I have all my smart speakers, most of them, on some type of power strip at the house? I flip one switch, they all go dark. Every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, but all you got to do is turn it on. And just say, hello, Alexa, and the government's listening.
Yo.
What are you going to ask it?
CIA.
Yeah, CIA, yeah, Homeland Security. All these, they're wanting to find something on us. This is how they control us, David. This is how the government wants to. They want to take your weapons away from you. They want to raise prices up so you can't afford food no more. Do you know why? They want us to be dependent on them. And that way, when you're dependent on someone, what happens? You gain control. Mm-hmm. If I'm dependent on you, David, for me to live my life, guess what? Yeah. You're taking care of me, right?
Yeah, I'm going to figure out what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, where you're going the night before.
Right. What? That you got what? Control of me, because I'm dependent on you for something. How do you get away from that? You back away from the situation. And that's what we got to do here. We have got to figure out a way, whether it's what Dave Holland Jr. said and some others, Trump running, somebody with some sense to run this country. We've taken over one part of Congress. We've got to get the other part, and we've got to get the conservative side back in the presidency, or at least somebody that knows what the hell they're doing and can run this country like it should be run. Let me see. They have internal batteries. Don't matter if you turn it off. That's why they hold memory.
The 4th Gen Echo, when it's not connected to the internet, because I've tested this.
I think he's talking about most devices.
Yeah, well, the 4th Gen Echo, I've tested this one. It loses time and date.
Uh-huh.
When it loses, like when we had a power outage on Friday the 13th, we had a power outage. It was 30 seconds. Our Comcast router went out. It lost time and date. And the only time it updated was when it reconnected through our Comcast to update its geolocation and time and date server.
So there's some things that can work, and there's some things that isn't. And again, it's not an argument, ladies and gentlemen. He's just telling you what he's got, how he's protecting himself. Yes, he understands that there's stuff out there that's got memory on it, and of course, the memory cards and all these phones and all these iPads and computers. Oh, yeah, the government can definitely infiltrate them. And like you said, if they was to come to your house tonight, Austin, and take your computer, well, they may have a difficult time finding stuff, but you got a chip in that computer, right?
I have that, and I also can turn every USB-C. You see this plug here.
Right.
Every USB-C port I can turn off. I can turn off every port so you can't get any data off the computer. So the only way you got to go in is you got to go get this board, the logic board, the motherboard, unsolder the SSD, which you cannot do because it's all system on a chip, and essentially you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I got you. David Thea said, "Knock at the door." Yep, you got that right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show. I'm gonna give Austin. Take a couple of minutes, Austin, to give us the weather report here on what we're looking like for not only tonight, the rest of the week and the weekend.
All right, muggy weather will continue with daytime highs in the lower 80s tomorrow with heat index readings all the way up to 87 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll cool off by Friday with thunderstorms, highs in the mid-70s, temperatures falling to the upper 40s, highs in the mid to upper 60s on Saturday. Sunday looks beautiful around 70, and warm weather returns next week around 80 by Wednesday. Back to you, David.
Wow, that was a great weather report. Crew member of the month, Mr. Austin Stevens, on the spot with David Rodgers and on the Spot Motorsports media page. Congratulations, Austin, to that. Now, let me get back to Mr. Mitchell Gunner. Mitchell Gunner, he is the host of On the Spot Motorsports media page that we have, blowing up, going out of sight. Make sure you tune into him. This Thursday night at 7, he will have Pro Stock Racer Alan Przinski on the Motorsports podcast this Thursday night at 7 p.m. That's Mitchell Gunner, who's one of our co-hosts here. He's hosting that show for us over there. David, you got to admit, man, that page is blowing up.
Blowing up.
Blowing up big time. So, I want to read. Dave Holland said, no argument, not trying to undermine him, and he wasn't. It was just reality. I started that. It's reality. Mm-hmm. I live in a reality world. Hey, when something can happen, it will happen.
Yep.
Or if it will happen, it can happen. However you want to word it. Either way you want to word it. And that's what we're saying. He's just protected himself a little bit better than I can assure you I protected myself. He's got a lot of stuff that he deals with. So I don't blame him. He's our backup for our hot spot, things like that. So, yeah, definitely want to be protected. By the way, he said he loves the weather, Dave Holland Jr. So,
if Dave, like me and Dave, you know, he's tech savvy. Don't get us two nerds in a room talking.
talk about your son, them two. Yeah, boy. All right. He said, that's right. Shirley Bagwell, good night, ma'am. I'm looking forward to the strawberry shortcake. Some of them sweetest strawberries from this side of heaven get here. Woo! I can't wait. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. Anybody that's going to the chamber, I will see you there Saturday night at 6 o'clock, as we'll be giving away awards and some prizes that people has won. And then we're going to have a good time dancing, things like that. So I'll see you then. Don't forget LCCW in Palatka, Florida, 1414 Bronson Street in Palatka. They've got a great card coming up. And I want you to know, if you go to that show, Austin, you tell me if Draven Grimes talked about me, because if he did, I'm going to slap the taste right out of his mouth.
You want me to send a birdie over there? I can.
You can. I wish you would. Can you send a birdie over there for me? Send a couple of them. I want him to record it because Draven Grimes is going to talk mess. Right?
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's going to be bad for him once this 60-year-old man whips his ASS. Now I'll leave it at that.
Hey, what rhymes with grass?
You know it. Brokeback Mountain. All right. On behalf of Austin Stevens, our weather guru, the missing Byron Bagwell, the dancing destroyer, Super Dave Holland, and myself, David Rodgers. God bless you. Have a great week. Thank you for tuning in. It was a great show. Don't forget, next week we had the drawing for the $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill. God bless. Have a great week. See you guys later.